the most powerful armies in the world in 2025. Power in the modern era is a method to maintain peace between countries that may otherwise vie for one another's resources, hence the paradox of mutually assured destruction as a deterrent. Both conventional and nuclear capabilities have been factored into ranking the most powerful armies in the world. Factors considered include total troop counts, quality of available equipment, resources, geographical location, and funding. However, military engagements are always context-dependent. Number 1. United States. Since the end of the Cold War in the early 1990s, the United States has been the sole global superpower, both economically and militarily. The sheer scale and power of the United States military are often hard to grasp. In 2023 alone, the U.S. government spent $820 billion on national defense. The United States military's power outside of its obvious nuclear capabilities is its Air Force. The United States Air Force is the largest in the world, with close to 5,300 aircraft. The second largest air force in the world is the United States Navy, with 3,700 aircraft. The United States also leads the world in the development of military technology. Number 2. Russia. Russia's military strength can be found in its large population, enormous tank fleet, and ownership of the largest nuclear stockpile in the world. Russian military prestige has certainly taken a hit since the invasion of Ukraine in 2022, but it is also proving to be an invaluable source of experienced soldiers and generals. After 2 years of brutal fighting in Ukraine, Russia is now in possession of one of the most experienced militaries in the world when it comes to conventional warfare. The conflict has also increased active personnel to over 1.3 million, with an additional 2 million in reserve. Number 3. China. China's true military strength has yet to be tested this century. China's last war was a brief border skirmish with Vietnam in 1978. However, the modern Chinese military is completely unrecognizable from decades past. China has made significant improvements in modernizing and expanding its Air Force and Navy. China recently introduced 2 new aircraft carriers to its Navy, and a third one completed its maiden sea trials in 2024, and should be ready for service in 2025 or 2026. China is also a nuclear power but has a relatively small stockpile compared to the US or Russia. Number 4. India. The main bulk of power in India's military is the sheer size of its population. The Indian military's active personnel is already sitting at almost 1.5 million people. In the event of any large-scale war, the Indian military would have access to an almost inexhaustible pool of manpower. Large strides have also been made to modernize the military as well. India is also a nuclear power, but the range of its warheads is somewhat limited and realistically would only be practical against targets that are within Asia. Number 5. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has quite a small military relative to the rest of the world powers. However, this is made up for through its unrivaled level of training and discipline. The British infantry, especially its special forces, are often regarded as some of the best in the world. Britain is also a nuclear power and has the capability to reach targets across the globe. Its Navy and Air Force are just as robust. All wings of the British military are outfitted with the best weapons and equipment money can buy. Number 6. Turkey. Turkey sits at an incredibly important strategic crossroads between Asia and Europe. It also controls the flow of traffic into the Black Sea and has quickly become one of NATO's most vital members. Its Air Force and Navy are some of the largest in the world and are key in patrolling its numerous borders with its neighbors. The Republic of Turkey is another country that still enforces a conscription law on its young men. This has created an enormous pool of well-trained reservists to be called up to bolster the ranks of the army should the occasion call for it. If a war breaks out, the Turkish military can more than double in size in a very short time if needed. Number 7. Pakistan. A large bulk of Pakistan's strength comes from its young and large population that could be mustered in the event of a war. While there is much progress to be made in terms of modernizing, the sheer number of soldiers Pakistan would be able to field is impressive. Pakistan is also a nuclear power, albeit the weakest of the group. The nuclear capabilities of Pakistan leave much to be desired. The range of the Pakistani nuclear warhead could only realistically reach a target 2,500 kilometers away, one of the shortest distances of all the nuclear powers. Number 8. Italy. Some may be surprised to learn that Italy has one of the most powerful militaries in Europe and is 10th globally. Although Italy has a modest active personnel of just over 150,000 people, this smaller fighting force is equipped with the best arms money can buy from places like Germany and the United States. The Italian Navy and Air Force are some of the finest in the world and are a vital part of Italian military strategy. Italy's geographical location on the Mediterranean Sea forces its Navy and Air Force to work closely with one another in order to secure its own coastlines. Number 9. France. France wields the 8th largest military defense budget globally, and its military is held in high regard for its readiness to act. Of the 125 major European wars that have occurred since 1495, France participated in 50 of them, and that history has honed the country's military infrastructure. The modern arsenal includes advanced jets, well-trained commandos, and nuclear weapons, but weaknesses may include munition reserves and manpower during a sustained conflict. Quality over quantity has been one of the French military's core principles since the 1940s, and this assumption rests on the French doctrine and hope that any war can be brief when approached with precision and speed. Number 10. North Korea. With a budget of about $6 billion US, the Korean People's Army, KPA, has been a force to be reckoned with since its formation in 1948. Today, North Korea wields chemical and nuclear offensive capabilities that have rocketed the isolated country up the global military totem pole. Although the country is infamous for rocket tests that put Japan and South Korea on edge, it also has a more worldwide influence. In 2004, it assisted in training Hezbollah fighters in guerrilla warfare tactics prior to the Second Lebanon War, and in 2024, Russia and North Korea joined via a comprehensive strategic partnership, which encourages mutual defense. That relationship is also noteworthy for the exchange of munition and artillery shells, which North Korea provided for Russia, which is evidence of the KPA's self-maintained military industry. If you are not yet subscribed to our channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button to watch our next stories.